That too, that there are some people in your orbit who are either voting for Donald Trump or considering it?
For sure. A lot of my friends are obviously my age, so we're a little younger. We've only voted once, for a president. And Trump is kind of all we know. And they're kind of Trump and Biden. They're like, well, we were broke with Biden. We weren't with Trump. And that's kind of the only thing that I'm hearing over and over again, is that, well, Trump, we had money.
Do you think that somebody else besides Biden should be president?
Yes,
next
of course. Bring back Trump.
Tell me why.
We had money. We had money when Trump was president.
Vote for Trump if he runs, because I feel like it was much better when he was here financially for everybody, not just me, for everybody.
I'm definitely voting for Donald Trump. He made sure we had money in our pockets. He was for the people. He made sure we had what we needed. I feel like everything will go back to how it was. I mean, ever since he's been out of office, everything's declined.
When Trump was president, my life was good. Economical-wise, I was doing so much.
Americans are waking up to the reality that the Democratic Party has taken advantage of them, and the media and the party are terrified. Our community supports the policies of President Donald J. Trump and knows full well that life was better 4 years ago under his administration. No amount of media deception or liberal race baiting will sway the minds of black voters who will cast their ballots this November for safer streets, a better financial well-being, a secure border, and a complete rejection of Joe Biden's disastrous tenure.
Looks like there is a massive support around black voters going to Donald Trump. Why is that?
The black community wants a leader who has the energy to actually go to bat for the issues that they want to fight for. And we see that in Donald Trump.
What do you think is going to be the number one issue that drives black folks to the polls?
Well, it has to be the economy. I think everyone is suffering right now.
Economy. Yeah. You can't fool what happens at a grocery store.
We have a lot of people in the room today from Chicago. We have people from New York, and we have also have people that are in Texas, from where you're from, that are tired of what we're seeing with the migrant issue.
Joe Biden's policies are putting, illegal immigrants ahead of the urban voters, of the black community here.
So it looks like there's a shift amongst black folks, and it looks like more and more are going for the Republican Party. Why now?
I think the Biden administration has really, in the last 4 years, I was just having a conversation at the table, it's like the whole house is in shambles.
I think most black people are trying to look for something different. And a lot of us are waking up, especially black men, and we're waking up to what the Democrat Party has been doing to us for so many years.
You can see what Biden is doing right now, making promises, but in reality, nothing is changing. We've been hearing hope and change for a long time now, and there hasn't been a real hope and change at the ground level.
Open your eyes, and the Republican Party is not the enemy.
What were your thoughts that night when you heard these comments during the event?
It's about time that somebody started telling the truth. I mean, he's only speaking to what some black folks have experienced for a very long time, which is a disastrous justice systems in many cases. And ultimately, we can all see this playing out right in front of our very eyes. I wasn't offended or didn't feel like anything he said was racist in any way.
According to exit polling, former President Trump saw a 5% increase in the black vote from 2016 to 2020. Tia, I want to bring you back in here. What do you think is driving this increase? What specific Trump policies do you feel have helped black Americans?
Well, I'll start with myself. I was a Democrat for all my life, my entire family. But it was around COVID time when I started paying attention to policies being made. Like I started paying attention to, when Trump and other politicians were listening to the parents, the people who really had voices that matter. Because if you look at the media now, no one's paying attention to the parents and what we need. And just because I'm a black parent doesn't mean that I care less about my child. Doesn't mean that my opinion should not be heard. So there have been a lot of policies that, Trump has been supporting within the parental rights system.
To be very candid with you, they are not. I think that the Democratic Party has taken the African-American vote for granted. African-Americans have been the lifeblood of the Democratic Party, the most loyal base of the Democratic Party. And that loyalty has been often taken for granted.
I was a Democrat before I switched parties. And I can tell you that I felt that the Democrat Party no longer valued my vote. And so I looked to do something else. Look at it. Representative Reynolds is correct. We give the vote to the Democratic Party higher than any demographic there is out there. Yet what have we gotten for that? We've got our communities still with high crime. We have health disparities. You look at what's going on in some states like New York, where it's a liberal bastion, and they are taking money out of Black programs and giving it to people who've entered illegally. You look at Chicago, and Chicago's taking away community centers and things like that away from Black communities and giving them to other people that have just entered the community. I look at California. That's supposed to be a liberal utopia. And do you realize in California there's 52 Congress people elected every 2 years, and they have not elected a Black man in 24 years? That is unbelievable. And the reason why is because they feel like they don't have to do anything for Black people because they are going to get the vote at a high level regardless of what they do.
The Biden campaign is seeing polls coming out saying President Trump is gaining traction with voters of color, even younger voters. So I came to the Bronx to put a face on the numbers, and I was shocked by what I heard on the streets.
Minority communities, we're not seeing the improvement. There's inflation with everything, food, gas, insurance prices. I mean, you name it.
Bidenomics is not working. It's just a complete mess. It's a disaster, especially here in New York City. We're feeling it very hard.
If you could say anything to Biden right now, who says that the economy is improving, especially in Black and brown communities, what would you say to him?
That's lies. I believe that's lies, heavy lies on that. For sure.
Feeling the pain of price hikes is one thing, but the show of open support for former President Donald J. Trump on the streets of the Bronx was very surprising.
The Black Conservative Federation held their annual honors gala, where Trump made his plea to the community.
If you want strong borders, safe neighborhoods, rising wages, good jobs, great education, and the return of the American dream, then congratulations, you are a Republican. It's pretty simple. Joe Biden and the radical left have abandoned everything Black Americans care about. They've really let you down. Look, we all understand it. They've thrown Black Americans overboard, and it's been not a pretty thing to watch. You take a look at some of these inner cities, but I and the Republican Party will fight for the Black community like you have never had anybody fight for you before.